Today on Edward Fleming's unofficial Hero Funhouse, put on your capes. We're gonna create a superhero campaign. Welcome again, heroes, to Edward Fleming's unofficial Hero Funhouse. Today we're going to talk about how to create a superhero campaign. There are only a few things you need to know when you're trying to create your first superhero campaign. First, you don't need to know everything. Which setting you're going to run, you don't need everything. History, importance of the PCs, the tone, the morality, the realism, outlook, and the continuity. First thing you need to know is you don't need to know everything. That means the setting as well as the rules. To know most of the rules would be great, and also the setting. But you don't need to know everything, not the whole background and read thousands of comics or graphic novels for that matter. Make sure you do your research on what you're going to do and the rule system you're going to use. Make sure you at least read through the rules and understand them when you're going to run. Also, when it comes to the setting, there are several places to look up. If you're going to do Marvel, there's marvel.com or good old Wikipedia. But be sure to read the specifics of the campaign. If you're going to run a Marvel campaign, which kind of Marvel campaign? And make sure you read those specific details. You don't need to know the entire universe. Which setting or universe are you going to run? Marvel, DC, independent, or your own? Each one has its own pros and cons, and based on what you personally know. If you know more Marvel than DC, and you feel more comfortable running a Marvel campaign, that might be the way to go. If you're going to run a DC campaign, what kind of DC campaign? Each one has its own tone, moralities, etc. Is it going to be Doom Patrol, Justice League, Titans, or are you just going to run something of your own in the DC universe? If you're going to run your own, decide on the particulars of it. Is it going to be more Justice League like or Doom like? Because you can use those as templates on how you want to run your own campaign. As with DC, Marvel has its own as well. Marvel has Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and others. And each one has its own. Avengers, they're kind of a global or Galactic Guardian type. And then you have Fantastic Four, which is kind of more or less just New York, but they do have run into galactic threats from time to time, like Galactus. Then you have the X-Men, which is more gritty, more down to earth, and tends to be a little bit more violent. Again, you can do your own, but I would use one of the others as kind of a template on how you want your campaign to look and run. If you're going to run your own or an independent type campaign, or if you're using a pre-use setting, you need to know the history. So a small timeline will be great, like how do people get superpowers? When did it start? Is it or everybody a mutant that gets powers, or do they get it through technology? These are important things. Then you have your importance of the PCs. The importance of the PCs are they the most powerful in your campaign, or is there other heroes that are more powerful than them, or are they all at the same level? Now, what is the tone of your campaign? Overall tone, I go with a rating system, so everybody's all kind of like on the same page. Some people don't like the rating system, saying it's too restricting, but if everybody knows that your campaign is going to be PG-13, they'll know there's going to be a little bit of violence, maybe language that is a little on the risque side, as compared to a G-rated means no language, no, no bleeding, so on. Some examples include a G rated. That could be your Adam West 1966 Batman, Kim Possible. PG, that's more your Big Hero 6, Lego Batman, The Incredibles. Your PG-13, that's going to be most of what your campaign's going to run into. That's going to be your Champions Online, your DC Extended Universe, your Marvel Cinematic Universe, your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, etc. Now your R-rated, that's going to be your Logan, Blade, Deadpool. More adult oriented. When it comes to tone, morality is important. It depends on how black and white or how gray your campaign is. Are your heroes defined real well as being good, like Superman, or kind of shades of gray, which is kind of more like Wolverine, or if it even more so with like Deadpool, an anti-hero. Then you go into how real is your campaign. Granted, there's superpowers and stuff, so there's not much realism in that. But is it like very real street level like Batman, or is it more romantic like Superman? Then you get into outlook. How serious is your campaign? Does like everything work out in the end in every adventure or in every comic, or is it serious and usually kind of a lot of loose ends? Then finally, you go into continuity. Is it very episodic, like the original series of Star Trek, where everything's resolved by the end of the episode or in the adventure, or is there overall overarching uh, storylines? Well, heroes, that's the end of our video. Don't forget to haymaker that notification bell and Marshall strike that subscribe button, and be sure to leave a comment and a like if you like this video. And also down below you'll see a Patreon link if you want to donate to help promote this channel. And don't forget, always be a hero, and good night.
Go! Go! Go!